I think we'll stand here.
No, you're close.
Dr. Golson and Dr. Thornton, can you stand up with us? Yeah. Come on. All right, good morning, everyone. This is a wonderful day in Prince George's County. We are so pleased this morning and honored to be able to welcome Governor Hogan home. We say that because the governor was born and raised here. We are so proud of that fact. In fact, you may recall that his father actually served as county executive in Prince George's County. So we are proud to have the governor here today. I've had the opportunity over the last several months to talk to the governor, and we had wonderful conversations about our pride in Prince George's County and also about the excitement of having the opportunity to work together on behalf of Prince Georgians. And I have to say, what a marvelous thing it is for us to begin today having conversations about what really is the most important issue in Prince George's County at this time, and that is the education of our children. And so I want to thank the governor for being here, for helping us to address what is, without a doubt, the key priority of our administration, and that is ensuring that every child in Prince George's County has the opportunity to not only have an adequate education, but to do so in buildings and facilities that befit them, that speak to their dignity, that tell them how valuable they are to us. And so having the governor here today for what is a very important announcement is important to us. We thank you so much for it, Governor. Thank you as well for your commitment to addressing this issue. We are not standing alone. We are standing today with critical partners. I want to thank Dr. Monica Golson for being here today, who is our interim CEO of our school system and is doing a fantastic job. She is also standing with a luminary in Prince George's County, and without exaggeration, Dr. Alvin Thornton. When we talk about funding for our schools, we couldn't think of no better person than Dr. Alvin Thornton, who chaired the Thornton Commission for our county and who has worked in education for over 40 years. And so we thank you, Dr. Thornton. You are aware that we had important legislation that was passed during the 2018 session of the Maryland General Assembly. That legislation is called the lockbox legislation. This legislation was spoken about not only by citizens, but our legislators decided that all of the revenue generated by the 6 casinos throughout the state of Maryland must go to education funding. This was an important decision, and today Governor Hogan is here to announce that Prince George's County and all of our jurisdictions across Maryland will have extra funding to help schools over the next 5 years. And this will also include fully funding our request for fiscal year 2020, and this is critical funding for us in the neighborhood of $74 million. We are appreciative of that funding and looking forward to addressing the backlog of projects we have in Prince George's. We have over $2 billion price tag in terms of a backlog and repairs for our schools, more in the neighborhood of $4 billion if we consider all of our needs. And so these dollars will be really instrumental in helping us to address the backlog. We look forward as well to addressing 2 different issues. One is the school construction issue, which again speaks to the facilities that we will educate our kids in, but we're also looking forward, Governor, to addressing the Kerwin Commission funding that will come to Prince George's as well. As you may know, Prince George's County educates the largest number of disabled students in the state of Maryland. We also educate the largest number of students who speak English as a second language, and 62% of all of our students are on free and reduced lunch. So we educate a large, struggling population of students who desperately need our help and support. And so we thank the governor for choosing Prince George's to come here today and to make his announcement. We look forward, Mr. Governor, to working with you and with your administration, and we really just we are really hoping for great results for our children who are relying on us. So thank you so much. I also want to thank our partners from LIUNA who are present, seated in the front here today, and thank you so much for your support and for being present. And with no further ado, I would like to please turn over the microphone to Governor Hogan and ask, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say good morning. Thank you, County Executive Officer Brooks, and congratulations on your inaugural, and I was happy to be there at the ball with you.
Yes.
And I'm very much. It's an exciting time for Prince George's County, and I'm very much looking forward to working closely with you over the next 4 years to try to work together to represent the people of Prince George's County. And thank you for having us here this morning. Thank you all for coming. I want to thank Principal Robinson and everyone here at Highland Park Elementary School for hosting us today. And I want to go off script a minute because there's a good friend of mine who works in our administration, Winston Wilkinson, who is standing in the back of the room. He doesn't know what I'm talking about, but we're walking in. He said he graduated from Highland Park Elementary School in, I don't know if he wants me to tell you the year, but in 1956. So Winston, I think we got to give him a round of applause for But also joining me up here, I don't think they were here in 1956 at the school, but there are a couple of distinguished. We have our state superintendent of schools and the chair of the Interagency Commission on School Construction, Dr. Karen Salmon, has joined us. We have, Maryland Budget Secretary David Brinkley and the executive director of the Maryland Stadium Authority, Mike Friends. And we're all excited to be here today, and I'm excited about this announcement today about the creation of a Building Opportunity Fund, which will provide a total of $3.5 billion in school construction funding over 5 years, including $2 billion in additional new dedicated funding for school construction to bring Maryland schools all across our state into the 21st century. Now, this represents the largest investment in school construction ever in Maryland history. Education has been our administration's top priority. We've fully funded education in all 24 jurisdictions 4 years in a row, and we went well above and beyond the legislative formulas, and we invested a record $25 billion in K through 12 education and a record $1.4 billion in school construction. No other governor in the history of the state has ever invested more in our schools. We also strengthened school safety and added school resource officers and mental health counselors to make our schools safer, because no mom or dad should ever have to worry when they send their kids off to school in the morning whether their son or daughter is going to make it home safely. We're also leading the fight for more accountability in our local school systems and pushing to raise academic standards and to root out corruption and mismanagement. And thanks to an overwhelming majority of Maryland voters that just went out to the polls last month, we're also creating this lockbox to ensure, as the county executive said, that all the casino revenue will go directly into the classrooms, as was originally promised more than a decade ago. This will mean an additional $4.4 billion for our schools. I happen to believe very strongly that every single child in our state deserves access to a world-class education, regardless of what neighborhood they happen to grow up in. And an important part of that is making sure that our students are educated in facilities that are modern, safe, and efficient, and which provide them with an environment that encourages growth. We want to make sure that schools have heat in the winter and air conditioning in the summer, that they fully meet the 21st century needs of Maryland students, teachers, and taxpayers. Over the past 4 years, we have built or rebuilt 124 schools all across the state and helped local school systems make renovations and improvements to countless more. Thanks to the work of our great team at the MSA, we opened 5 new schools in Baltimore City in just 1 week, and a total of 28 new schools over the past few years just in Baltimore City. Through the 21st Century Schools program, that's how we got it done. Now we want to kind of harness the success of that innovative program by continuing our record investments in our students in jurisdictions from one end of the state to the other. So today I'm announcing that next month at the start of the legislative session, we will introduce the Building Opportunity Act of 2019, which will create the Building Opportunity Fund to provide school systems and, most importantly, our students with the healthy, efficient, and modern school buildings that they deserve. Our legislation will dedicate $2 billion from the new lockbox revenues specifically for school construction projects. This new funding will be added to the current funding levels and will bring the total in dedicated school construction funding to $3.5 billion over the next 5 years. The state has already received $3.7 billion in funding requests, including requests for upgrades and repairs to some of our aging schools. And with this new Building Opportunity Fund, we will be able to fulfill nearly all of those local funding requests. And among other things, these school construction dollars would go toward critical, much-needed improvement projects, including the replacement of heating, air conditioning, and ventilation systems right here at Highland Park Elementary School. We're also proposing that on the new construction projects designated through the Building Opportunity Fund, that we could oversee them and they could be completed by the Maryland Stadium Authority to replicate the incredible success of the 21st Century Schools program in Baltimore City. And in addition to the transformative effect that this investment will have on our children and on our local school systems, it's also estimated that this unprecedented construction initiative will provide a boost to our economy with the creation of more than 27,000 new Maryland construction jobs over the next 5 years. So I want to recognize the front row, all these guys here in the orange shirts who are from the building trades, representing LIUNA, Labor International Union of North America. I want to thank you all for being here. This innovative program is about our kids and their futures. It's about giving every Maryland child the opportunities that they expect, the tools for success that they need, and the safe and modern school facilities that they deserve. And we're looking forward to working together with the legislature to pass this important legislation in the next few months. Now, at this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Dr. Salmon, who would like to make a few comments.
Thank you, Governor.